Is this trade policy or gaslighting?
A little bit of both. I think, and the whiplash that the markets and our farmers and everyone from day one is astounding, and it makes it very hard for people to plan, and it makes everyone nervous on top of all of the chaos that we have seen since January 20th.
Well, the Democrats in the Virginia House delegation did write a letter to the new USTR about the impact on agriculture, specifically in Virginia. $429 million of farm exports, I believe, to Canada alone. But President Trump yesterday on True Social said for the great farmers, they're going to start making a lot more agricultural product inside the United States because on April 2nd, all the external agricultural product is going to be tariffed as well. Does that benefit farmers more than other tariffs hurt them? Is there a kind of net zero effect here?
Well, first of all, that's not how it works. You don't just start growing a crop overnight. And a lot of our farmers get inputs from other countries. Some of their farm equipment will be impacted by these tariffs, and some of the machinery that they use. But more importantly, they're going to be retaliatory tariffs. The last time Trump put tariffs in place, there were retaliatory tariffs. And in Virginia alone, we had soybean farmers and tobacco farmers. Collectively, that was at least, I think, $61 million in losses. And so one of the first conversations I had was with a local elected leader in a rural area who is a Republican, who voted for Donald Trump, who is a farmer. And the first thing he said to me was, don't let him put the tariffs in place.
Well, it's interesting. I mentioned the Commerce Secretary earlier today. He referred to this as a drug war, not a trade war. He said the trade war will start on the 2nd of April when reciprocal tariffs are put into effect. And the administration seems to have been kind of delivering the message that some short-term economic pain is an acceptable cost to bring down opioid-related deaths in this country, that getting to the fentanyl scourge is the point of this. Is there some principle in that mission that you agree with?
We had the opportunity to pass a bipartisan, very strong border security bill that would have began working on addressing fentanyl coming into the United States last year. You know why we didn't do it? Because Donald Trump told House Republicans, don't pass that bill because I want something to run on and beat Joe Biden over the head with in the election. So there are ways that we can work with our partners in Canada and in Mexico to address the fentanyl traffic. There are ways that we can do that without harming the American people, without harming farmers. Look, with these tariffs, the cost of everything from groceries to gasoline, from toys to your tech gadgets, and everything else, the housing and health care, price is going to go up. And the American people, many of them, said they voted for Donald Trump because they wanted him to bring the cost down. Every action he has taken since day one is raising costs for the American people, and tariffs are part of that.
Well, and of course, tariffs are not where the action we've seen over the last 6 weeks ends. We have also seen on the part of the president and Elon Musk and the Department of Government Efficiency a very rapid effort to shrink the size of the federal government. And I know a lot of your colleagues are bringing with them people who have been laid off from the federal government in different aspects. For the joint address tonight, you yourself are bringing a home care aide who is worried about potential Medicaid cuts. What message ultimately are you trying to send here? And do you think it's one that's going to be effective? Will it be heard by the other side of the aisle?
I hope so. What the message we are trying to send is every action that you are taking is hurting the American people. And we are bringing people, hardworking Americans, some who have dedicated their lives to this country and serving people, some who dedicate their lives to providing health care for their family or other people. Every single one of them that are coming tonight have been hurt by actions from the Trump administration or will be hurt if the budget plan goes forward to gut services, including stripping health care away from 80 million Americans to fund tax breaks for millionaires and large corporations.
What would you tell your colleagues who want to bring props and maybe make some disruptions tonight? Is that just part of these addresses now after what we saw Joe Biden go through last year?
I am focused on telling the story of the American people who will be harmed by this president's actions. And my focus is on sharing their stories and not props.